If you've ever been out riding around near Tumbleweed, then there's a good chance that you've come across the subject of today's video. And if you have, you definitely know about it because it's not the kind of thing that you'd be able to miss. Of course, I'm on about the exploding house. A house that, as the name suggests, mysteriously explodes as you get close to it. The house is located a little bit northeast of Tumbleweed, ever so slightly west of the rails past the sea in Cholla Springs on the map. Shouldn't be too tough to find. Get on your horse and get galloping and approach it on horseback. When you arrive at the location in question, this is what you'll be met by. A regular looking house from a distance, but when you get close enough, gives your horse a bit of a frighten. In the distance, you will see the remains of what was a house now on fire. You're probably wondering what could cause this place to explode, so why don't we get a bit closer and investigate. Upon closer inspection, the house appears to now be the remains of what was a moonshine distillery, with the remains of what appear to be distillation columns all around the place, meaning that before the explosion, somebody used this house as a place to cook up moonshine, and I can only imagine that the explosion was not a part of the plan. A theory reinforced by the presence of a charred corpse laying lifeless in the wreckage of the house that exploded. I can't tell if the dead body is that of a man or a woman because they're charred to all fuck, but it would appear as if this dead body is the only casualty in this explosion, an accident which appears to be of their own making. Now, getting moonshine to explode during the distillation process is very easy to do if you have no idea what you're doing, as of course methanol and ethanol, two different kinds of alcohol, are used in the distillation process and are both highly flammable. In order to avoid explosions during the distillation process, they need to be properly sealed and vented, and if there's a leak releasing ethanol gas into the still, a single spark could cause an explosion. Thanks, Google. So I'm imagining there's no real mystery here. That's exactly what happened. There was something not going 100% properly, and a spark caused the explosion. My best theory as to what caused the spark would have been a cigarette, or a cigarette being lit up by a match. Considering the time in which this game is set, I'd imagine that stupidity is not as outlandish as we might hope. One last thing before we all bugger off, because there's not really much to investigate here, is you can find a lockbox, in which you'll be able to find high velocity or outright explosive ammunition. And if you haven't already found it, there should be a pamphlet in here for exploding shells. Maybe messing about with that could have caused the explosion here, but honestly, I don't think it's relevant. I'm honestly surprised that live ammunition on this site wouldn't go off in an explosion, but then again, I'm not a scientist, so this eluding my understanding shouldn't really be something to concern you. It's just a moonshine distillery that exploded and killed the occupant of the house. But I think that concludes our look into the moonshine distillery explosion here, or as we'll refer to it for vagueness sake, the exploding house in New Austin. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want some extra content as well as a load of other cool benefits, maybe go ahead and pledge over on Patreon if you want to. I think it's a good deal, but in the end of the day, that's ultimately up to you. Don't feel forced to one way or the other. But I'm aiming to build a community over there, and it'll be really cool to have you guys be a part of it. Anyways, I will see you all very soon with another video at some point.